Hi, welcome to Cute Things by Rebecca. I am Rebecca, and today we are going to be making a center zip bag, fully lined. I'm doing the 5x7 today, so these are the supplies that we'll need to get started. I have two front main pieces cut at 3 inches by 8. I have a zipper longer than my project. So I would say 9 inches or more, and a main back cut at 6 by 8 inches. Since we're doing a 5x7 design, I like to cut my pieces an inch larger on each side. And then the lining pieces are the same. 2 front lining pieces, but I have about 1/4 of an inch ironed over. You want to do that so you don't have any fraying edges. So those are our lining pieces. I'm going to put a tab on this one with a little keyring. So let's get started. I have hooped tearaway in mind, but you can use cutaway, whatever your preference is. The first step on the machine is always a placement step, so I'm going to run that now and I'll show you what that looks like in just a second. Okay, here are the placement line for that. You will notice that I do have some squares here. That's if we wanted to do the boxed version of this bag, which you can do without the lining. But in this design that we're doing today, I'm just going to line it. It's just going to be a regular 5x7 center zip bag. So you want to take your zipper and line it up, your center teeth with the center line. Not all zippers are made the same width, so just be sure to line it up on the center zipper line. I'm going to do that, secure it with tape, and run step 2 on the machine. Okay, so our zipper is secured on the stabilizer. I walked away from my machine for a minute and look what it did. It went all crooked, but it's fine. I'm okay with it. So we're going to do the top part of the bag next. So take your vinyl and place it right up to the zipper, and then run that next step, which is just a line. It'll secure it down. You can make this in fabric too. That's why we have the line, so we can do the fold over method. So if you were using woven fabric, you would want to place your fabric, line it up here at the zipper like this, and then run that line, and then you would flip this over and then run the top part of the bag so it would secure that on. I may make a video of the woven at some other time, but today we're doing this one. So just go ahead and run the next step, and I'll be back and I'll show you what that looks like. Okay, so we ran the line there and secured that on. So go ahead and run the next step, which is going to secure the whole top part on. Okay, now we'll do the same for the bottom part of the bag. Just line up your vinyl, run the next 2 steps, and I'm going to do that now and I'll show you what that looks like. Okay, so now the front is secured on. Now we're going to put the lining on. I like to clean up my zipper area right now so I can see where the lining goes. So I'm going to do that, and then I'll show you what that looks like before we put the lining on. Okay, so this is what I like to have my zipper look like. So we're starting with the top side or the right side of the bag, so you want to turn it over to the back side. Take your lining piece that you have ironed over and place it, the ironed edge, just right past this line here, the zipper line. Secure it with tape and put it back into the machine and run that step. It's going to secure that on. I'm going to run that now and I'll show you what it looks like. Okay, so that's what it looks like. Now we're going to do the same part for the bottom portion of the bag. And then just take your lining that you ironed over and right above that zipper line there and secure it with tape. I'm gonna do that now and I'll show you what that looks like. Okay, so the lining for the front part of the bag is finished. Now the next step on the machine is a placement step for if you wanted to put a tab. You can put a tab if you want, you don't have to. You can put it anywhere you want. I just put that in the files so I don't forget, because I am always forgetting the tabs. So the placement for the tab is right here on the zipper line. So open your zipper, place your tab if you want. Be sure your raw edges are on the outside of your bag. Secure it and then run that step. I'm sorry, the next step on the machine is a placement for that, so it's going to run that and then you put your tab down and then run it to secure it if you want. I'm going to do both of those at the same time right now. Okay, so my tab is now on. We are almost finished. So you want to take your main vinyl piece for the back and place it pretty side down over the entire project. Be sure your zipper's open and run the next step on the machine. Okay, now that piece is on, turn your hoop to the back side and place your last lining piece pretty side down so the right sides are together over the entire design. Secure it with tape and run that last step. It's going to leave a little opening for us so we can turn through there. I will show you what that looks like in just a second. Okay, the bag is all done, so now you just remove from your hoop, clean up your stabilizer. I'm going to do that now and I'm going to trim, and I'll show you how I trim the lining. Okay, so this is how I trim my bags. I leave the lining a little long. You want just a little overhang so when you turn it you can seal it up. And I leave my zippers a little bit long on the edges and I burn them because I don't want things coming out of the seams, and sometimes that can happen, especially when you're turning bags. So what you want to do is just turn through that opening of your bag. I'm sorry, I just started doing it. I'm going to finish turning it. I'll straighten it out and I'll show you what I do to seal up these seams. Just a second. Okay, so it's turned through the lining now. Just take your lining and fold it in on both sections, and then I have my iron turned on. I'm going to seal it with some stitch witchery. I know there's another name for it, but I can't remember. But it seals the stitches instead of taking it to a sewing machine, which you can do, and you can run your sewing machine through all the layers. It won't matter. It won't leave a lot of bulk or anything. It's just like this. So this is the stitch witchery, and you just put it in between the layers and iron it in. It melts. I'm gonna do that now, and I'll show you what we have when that's all done, and we'll have a finished bag. Okay, so the bag is all sealed. It's not opening. When you do use the seal stuff, stitch witchery, and your iron on vinyl, just be careful not to give it too much heat because you don't want to melt your vinyl. Anyways, now open up your zipper the rest of the way and then turn through the zipper. Poke out your edges. And there you have it. A cute little center zip bag. I'm gonna put this little key ring on it. I'll do that later. But I don't know. Some people like these little centers of bags. I wanted one for myself because I want the box cornered one. I'm going on a trip next year and I wanted to make one for myself. So that'll be in the next video. The box tack. So I hope you enjoyed this, and cute little bag. Thanks for watching. We'll see you next time.